Hello, y'all. Turn that air down a bit so it's not so loud in your ears. It is Tuesday afternoon, and we're just going to take a little drive around at Gettysburg College. I decided to take a little drive through and start the video from somewhere other than an alley or in a parking lot or something like that. I thought I'd go to it. So I'm meeting somebody, Bob Steenstra, you know him. Those of you who've been around from the beginning, you remember he was co-host on the early episodes of Addressing Gettysburg up until the era, 2020. You know what happened then. Not allowed to talk about it. So we have a tour tonight that I'm just taking some friends around. I asked Bob to do it, and because Bob's a great tour guide. I've never seen somebody make people cry as often as I've seen Bob make people cry by the end of his tour, and that is a good storyteller. That's at like 30, so we're going to go to Montezuma's, my favorite Restaurante de Mexicano Foodo here in Gettysburg. And although there are other good ones, but that's my favorite. The one thing I love about Montezuma's is I go in there, I place my order, and bam! Before the last person at the table finishes placing their order, the food's on the table. I don't know how they do it, but somehow they do it, and I'm glad they do it. And it's also delicious. Their salsa's my favorite. Montezuma's on Buford Avenue. Give it a try when you get a chance. That was a free plug that I gave them just because they do such great work there and make such great food. They deserve your business. All right, so we're on Washington Street, and let's see, I've got about 45 minutes before I need to meet Bob. So, where can I take ye? Where would you like to go? I'll go wherever the first suggestion says. So go ahead. Just don't pick East Cavalry Field. It's too far away. But anywhere else you want to go, let me know, and I will take us there. All right, this is a little lopsided. Why am I not? Oh, because the mirror. All right. Peter Zach is jealous of this blue sky. It's a beautiful day. It's supposed to be cloudy today. This is why I used to say when I was at Gettysburg, I used to say to people that would call a week in advance, and they'd be like, "We have a tour next Saturday, and I'm looking at the forecast, and it's calling for rain." Yeah. So I think I'd want to cancel, but that's 7 days out. Right, but the forecast. Yes, we've been doing this for 18 years. In the summertime, the rain comes in, it drops on you, maybe a half hour at the most, then it clears up, and it's quite lovely. Las Vegas. We'll go to Las Vegas. No, let's see. Culp's Hill. All right, we'll go to Culp's Hill. When the snow comes to cover the ground. So, yeah, and then like, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm like, well, okay, you can cancel if you want to. And then, of course, that day comes, and it's a bright, sunny day, and the rain doesn't show up at all. There's a Stone Temple Pilots lyric that says, "And I feel so much depends on the weather. So is it raining in your bedroom?" Sexy. But also, yeah, so much does depend on the weather. But also, I think people rely too heavily on weather forecasts. Also, I learned something new. I was talking to a meteorologist over the winter at a bar, and we were all there, a group of us, and started talking to this other group of people, and the guy was a meteorologist, not on TV, but, works in meteorology. And we got to talking, I forget how we got here, but he said, when it says there's a 30% chance of rain, those aren't the odds of rain. That means 30% of the area will get rain. And I never knew that. And now I look at the weather in a whole new light. So if I'm looking at the Gettysburg weather and it says 30% chance of rain in the Gettysburg area, I'm not so worried. And it says 90%, that's a different story. And oftentimes, on those days that say 30%, you can look, if you're out on the battlefield, you can look and find the rain, and it can be bright and sunny where you are down by, let's say, the Trossel farm, but you see this dark cloud bank right over town or just north of town or something like that. That's kind of cool. Okay, this mirror is starting to lose its... So we're going to Culp's Hill. The entrance to Culp's Hill is off of Liberty Street, or you could take Lefevre off of Baltimore Street. Liberty Street is off of York Street, or you could take Middle Street to that, East Middle to it. Yeah. It's cloudy in Ephrata. Well, that's not that far away. I guess you guys got our forecast. Sup, Cliff? How you doing? Sup, yo? Good afternoon, Les. You're welcome for the lift. Did you guys get rain today? Poured at noon here in northern Huntingdon County. No, we, I guess that's what Ephrata is getting now. What you guys had in Huntingdon. No, we've had a beautiful day all day. I mean, there were white fluffy clouds, happy little clouds, but no, whatchamacallit. What am I trying to say? Rain. That's the word I'm looking for. Rain. There was no rain. Oh, I recorded an episode today with Steve French about Imboden's brigade here at Gettysburg. For those of you who think we don't do enough Confederate stuff. And it was very interesting. Imboden's brigade is an interesting brigade. Interesting story. Unique. They were attached directly to Lee. Robert E., that is. Not to Stuart. And, you know, we always hear about Jenkins' cavalry leading the column for Ewell's Corps. And of course, Stuart is ostensibly protecting the right of the army. But what's his face? Imboden, he's off to the left. He's going through Mercersburg and a couple of raids with a couple little brawls. And, it's stuff you don't normally hear about when you hear about this stuff. So that'll be on Patreon sometime, probably over the winter. I don't know when we'll get there. I think we're like, well, last I talked to Dave about it, it was a couple of weeks ago. And at that point, we were 95% finished with 2023's, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, sorry, I just passed the 123rd. Patreon episodes. And so then I guess this would be probably before the end of 2023. This would still be there if we're 95% done. Yeah, so we're not quite yet into 2024. Ask a Guides, we are into 2024. So that is good. And it would be nice if I could just edit them all in like 1 week and schedule them for release all the way through till I run out. But I can't because I have to edit them closer to release because the commercials need to be up to date. And I know you all love commercials, but that's why we have Patreon. But you don't get those shows commercial free on Patreon. Maybe I should start doing that. We can get commercial free Ask a Guide. No, let me think about that, because if I'm a sponsor and I'm paying to be on an Ask a Guide, but then you also have a free option or an option where it's commercial free for subscribers, would I feel screwed? I don't want to do that. Well, let me think here. Selling advertising is a way to monetize the, whatchamacallit. Here, let's stop here by the 7th Indiana. Hi, 7th Indiana. All right, let me just take a little break here. I'm going to read you. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. That said good afternoon. Looks like a nice day there. Yep, I'm on the battlefield right now. Oh, Dennis Cox is in town and on the battlefield. Hello. If you're still around after 5:30 in the Pickett's Charge area and you see us, stop by and say hi. I'll have Major with me. Chris Presley, but there's no margaritas. That's true. You have to bring your own margaritas to Montezuma's. That's a good point. What's up, Matt? Hi, Jennifer. How are you? It's cloudy in Ephrata. There you go. Cliff. Okay, here we go. Good afternoon, Matt. Thank you for the lift. Oh, got that one. Okay. Did you guys get rain? No, got that. Where did I leave off here? Love that spot you just drove through. U.S. skirmish line was right up to that fence on the right, 153rd PA. Super close to Confederate lines. Dustin, don't tell Colby, but I stopped listening to Fog of War podcast episode to tune into this afternoon drive along. I won't tell Colby. You can always go back to that, but I appreciate it. Harold said, my great-grandmother last name was Green. I need to research and see if General Green is related. There you go. Put the commercials in the beginning. If I put the commercials in the beginning... Oh, look who it is. It's Chris Presley. Hey. Oh, and Vicky Castle. Oh, how are you?
I wanted to stick my head out the sky roof thing and yell out, oh my God, it's my coloring.
Oh, please. I'm just a regular person like the rest of you little people.
Well, you're a big-time celebrity here in Gettysburg.
Oh, well, to you maybe, but not to everybody else.
She has exciting new news.
What? Are you pregnant?
No, we tied that off. No, I had a new book come out.
Oh, I saw.
And it's not even dirty.
What?
Yeah.
Why? You sell
totally
out?
Civil War. No, it's not Civil War.
No, what is it?
It's a werewolf thing. Yeah.
But it's not dirty?
Not dirty.
Well,
the
what do
second
you?
half might be a little bit.
What happened? Why'd you?
Well, this is like the first half.
Oh, so it's a series.
Yeah.
Okay. And the next one's gonna get dirty.
Next one's gonna have a bit of dirty.
So that by the end of the
But
first.
the one after that's like all dirty.
Really? And what's it called?
This one that just came out is The Alpha's Wife.
The Alpha's Wife is the name of Vicky Castle's new exciting werewolf love novel.
Thank you.
It doesn't get dirty until the end. Wait, does it actually get dirty or does it lead up to dirtiness, but then dirty
There's
is
no
volume
dirtiness
2?
in the first one at all.
Okay, no dirtiness in the first one at all,
You're the best.
but dirty in volume 2.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
okay.
But you're like, totally hitting my target audience right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, it's the Alpha's wife?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it's the alpha werewolf?
Yeah.
Okay. And his wife. Are they married from the get-go, or do they...
Pretty soon.
Yeah, okay, so they...
Arranged marriage, forced proximity thing.
An arranged marriage, forced proximity thing. What happened? Just give us the gist of the story.
Oh, man.
Just the gist.
Go hop in that car over there.
Yeah.
Do an interview.
So she marries this guy.
Here.
He thinks he doesn't like her. He really doesn't. Oh, no, you don't have to.
Oh, what? So go ahead, tell us now.
All right. She should read my blurb out. So basically, she is forced to marry this guy, and he actually loves her, but to protect her, he doesn't tell her. So he's afraid people know, and then come for her to hurt him. So it's all very complicated. And she loves him.
They come for her to hurt him.
Yeah.
That's like mafia shit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You gotta look out.
It's the Alpha's Wife, available now.
Yes.
And Vicky Castle is the author. Interested in romance novels about werewolves?
Now back to the two.
Now back to the 7th Indiana.
Which I may have slightly interrupted.
That's all right. That's all right.
Driving around town and hooked up, so.
I bump into Chris more than anybody else when I do these
Well,
things.
we were in town going a different way. It was like, oh, we can find him.
The library. The library's closed.
It's closed.
Yeah.
Why is it closed?
I don't know, but it's closed for a few days.
Oh.
So we're about to go to the library bookstore.
All right. Well, you're just gonna have to find books elsewhere. Maybe you can go to For the Historian and get a 20% discount.
That's it. We will do that.
Well, I'm doing a lot of plugs today.
Yeah.
Plugging your book, plugging For the Historian. Pretty good.
Very good. Good plug.
All right. I'll see you later.
Yes, well, have
Thanks for
fun.
stopping by.
See you soon.
All right. So now, let's see. Put the commercials in the beginning. Peter, if I did that, it would be 30 minutes before you even get to the show. And also, the way I charge is based on real estate. So, beginning is the cheapest, middle is the most expensive, and the end is the second most expensive. The thinking behind that is they've done studies that we confirmed with polls of our patrons a couple of years ago that say most people skip through the top ads. They listen to the middle ads because they're already invested. Typically, they're driving. It's easier to just listen and than to skip through. And a slightly fewer, but still more than those in the beginning, listen to the last ad because they've already got the show running. Oftentimes, they have it on autoplay where it's going to go into another episode, so they just let it play out. So that's why the middle and bottom are the most expensive ones. And when I say most expensive, it's still cheaper than print advertising, which is the point, because I don't believe print advertising is worth a damn anymore. Because everybody plans their trip to Gettysburg or anywhere on their phone or laptop or the whatever, but on the internet, they have their whole itinerary set. They've got tickets booked and everything all set before they ever set foot here. It's not like the old days when you needed print advertising because people didn't have the internet. So they would show up, get the print advertising and read the articles and look at the ads in it and then say, oh, honey, let's go do this. And then they would go do it. So I try to undercut them because I think you're actually getting more bang for your buck by going with us. because you're interacting with an audience that is very enthusiastic about this place. They're not the casual visitor that a lot of the bigger entities that do advertising in the area seek out or cater to. This is an audience that is willing to really get dirty when they come down here. And by dirty, I don't mean like in Vicky's novels. I mean dirty like get out there, get dirt on their hands, mud on their boots, and ticks in their hair. Yeah, so that's never mind any more free stuff. You post enough of that. Thank you, Kevin. I agree. What's the author's name again? My wife likes werewolf stuff. No joke. Okay, yeah, no problem, Cliff. Her name is Vicky Castle. I think she spells it Vicki. Castle, like castle. The name of the book is The Alpha's Wife, and you can find it on Amazon, along with all of her other books. She has a lot of other books. And, you know, Cliff, if you want to spice things up in the marital bed, maybe get her some of the other books, because they're a little bit more risque, if you will. Oh, he already said. Jim says it's Alfalfa's wife. Little rascals. That's funny. Alfalfa's wife. The Cherry Pie Show says, I really think it's been 2 months since I was in town. I need to get up there soon. By the way, I hang out at the Farnsworth house a lot, typically. Got a good friend named Casey that works at a crystal shop. Well, Cherry Pie Show, next time you're in town, let me know. We'll go and get a drink at Farnsworth. I haven't been there much this year, and I feel bad because I love that place, and I would like to think that we're friends with the owners and the crew there. But honestly, I have probably had less than 5 beers this whole entire year, and many of them I'll get half of, and then I'll be like, nah, I'm done with this. Like, it just doesn't appeal to me anymore. And also, I'm trying to spend less. So I haven't been there as much, which, yeah, like I said, I feel kind of bad about. So I do got to go back there, sir. I do have to go back there. I do need to go back there. So please let me know when you're in town and we'll go. Kevin listens to all the ads. That is a smart man. And do you like, since you listen to all the ads, Kevin, do you like that I've been using other people's voices so that you're not hearing my voice the whole hour and a half? I'm getting sick of it. You've got to be, all you people. Bill Reedy, let's go pick up some babes, get a bucket of chicken from KFC, go to Spangler Springs for a picnic and talk history and stuff. Well, out of the picking up babes market, not that I ever was very much in it, but I tried. Bucket of chicken from KFC, we might as well just go and picnic on a toilet. And you can't picnic at Spangler Spring anyway. But I would love to talk history and stuff. Milepost says, I like the commercials. Reminds me of places to go when I'm in town. Bantam, For the Historian, already on my list for the end of the month. See, that's great. I'm glad you said that, because that's what I wanted. I want the commercial breaks to read more like your itinerary for your next trip than commercials. That's why I don't do, like, you probably listen to other podcasts that advertise things like Blue Apron and, you know, all these like services, and it makes them sound like they're more important as podcasts than they are, because it makes it sound like this national company is paying them directly. But it's actually an advertising, an ad service that you can sign up for. And I guess depending on how many monthly downloads you get, it tells you what ads you're eligible for. And then you can record those ads, you use your promo code, and then when people buy something with the promo code, then they pay you. And, you know, I don't know if it works or not, and there's nothing against it. You got to make your money however you can in this life. But I thought of that initially, but I said to myself, no, this is a Gettysburg podcast. I'm in Gettysburg. I moved to Gettysburg to do this. So I'm going to, this is Gettysburg. I'm going to get support from the community so that I can brag about the community, because it is a great community. We've got great businesses that I love. It wasn't enough for me to come visit here. I had to move here twice, and I'm never moving away again. So, yeah, so I'm glad you said that, because that's the idea. Makes sense with the commercials. Besides, they are not dry commercials and are entertaining. Thank you, Peter. I agree, Peter. Commercials are excellent. Matt's a great producer with a lot on the ball. Thank you very much, Kevin. Yes, I love the way you do ads. You could probably produce ads as sideline. Yeah, I've thought of that. I used to do, not a ton, but I've done about maybe 4 or 5 as seen on TV commercials. And so that helped me learn how to write an ad. Not that there's more than one way. Cherry Pie says, mud all over my morning skirt. Effing boots had to be replaced after an EVP session at Wheatfield. I'm definitely down. I love Tim Smith. Let's haunt the Gettysburg. Okay. All right. Peter says, yes, the commercials are great for planning. Good. Love the commercials for the historian. Love those two guys. Yeah, that's me and Eric doing that goofy commercial. I'll have to put that back in the mix. I've been using the shorter version of just me not being goofy, but I'll put that back in the mix. I'm gonna start ordering books from For the Historian. Yeah, honestly, I'll tell you something, and I have to thank all of you guys. I have to thank Steve Byers and all the people in the book club too, who also happen to be listeners. But I've been told that when we talk about a book on the show, like if we interview an author on Patreon, or we just talk about a book on whatever, AG Today, or what do you call it, Ask a Guides, they sell out of that book because you guys respond. You call up, or you go online, or if you're in the area, you stop in and you buy the book. And that's great. They're our longest running sponsor because you guys are responsive, and you support them. They appreciate it. They appreciate us. They appreciate you, and I appreciate you for that, because I mean that keeps him coming back, and that keeps him doing business with us, and that's great. And I think, especially for this type of a show, to have a sponsor that is a bookstore is pretty vital, because books are a big part of what we do. It's a tool for people like us. So many thanks to you guys for doing that. Another great part about the commercials is you let us know about the discounts offered by the sponsors. Yeah, whenever it's possible, I tell the sponsors, like when we're first having our discussions, I tell them I have to have a discount code for my listeners, and and they understand that. Like, it's not like it's something I invented. They totally understand how that all works, and it's good because they're able to track how much business they're getting off of us. And you guys are able to save money. So yeah, you gotta do it. Matt, do whatever you need to do to keep this going. Oh, I do. And I don't know why I feel bad about having to do what I need to do to keep it going. Like, why do I feel bad about making a subscription or a membership thing on YouTube when everybody else does it? Or why do I hesitate to say that this, this driving around stuff is brought to you by super likes in these live videos, or Patreon, becoming a patron? And as much as a super like is great, I'm not going to say don't do it, but really, I want you to get something out of it more than just a drive around town. That's why I think Patreon is the way to go, because we have like a couple of hundred episodes over there. You can't catch up in a month. So you're going to have to keep coming back. And that's good, because that's what keeps us going. The first 2 times I bought from For the Historian, I didn't mention the show because I didn't care about the discount, but then I realized it lets them know the ad is working. Yeah. It's great. A lot of people have told me, oh, I don't care about the discount. And I go, no. It doesn't help me, or it doesn't help them, meaning For the Historian, if you don't let them know that you heard us on the show. So take your discount. It's 20%. It's not a fortune, but take the discount and, be glad you did. Definitely love how your show goes hand in hand with the goings on. Wait, hold on. And tour guides. Want to take a tour with Ken in the red shirt. We, like I said, I'm trying to be like a one-stop shop for people interested in Gettysburg, and it's going to take, it's taken years to get as far as we are, and it's going to take many more years to get as far as I want to go, unless, of course, I win the $500 million lottery, or frankly, any lottery. I have ideas. I think there are, I call it a 21st century way to do what other entities in town are charging an arm and a leg for people to do. And they're kind of bound by old-fashioned ways of doing things, and you can't blame them. It's hard to modernize when you have to do things through a board, and you don't have a dictatorship. I'm sole proprietor of this business. I have no board. I get bored sometimes, not doing the work, but when I'm not doing the work, I get bored, and so I can dictate how I do my business, which is great. And when you have people who try to tell you to do it a different way, you could say, well, I'll take that into consideration, and sometimes you actually do it. But most times you don't, because they don't have the slightest clue as to all the things that you have to consider to do your business. I prefer a dictatorship to a board. Not only that, but there's plenty of people who've created something and then set up a board and lost their creation because the board voted them out. And I'm sorry, there's very few people in my life that I trust enough to put on a board. Your show is really a model for a new way of presenting history and working with the community. Thank you, Peter. I agree. That's kind of the idea. And Casey Turbin, who's the head of the film club, and I have been talking for about 2 years now, I believe, about replicating this model in Winchester with him as the host. And on top of that, I'm trying to build a network of, I think I'm going to call it, and let's timestamp this so if anybody steals it, we know that I said it first. I still have to look and see if anybody has already taken it, but I don't think I've seen it anywhere. And it's the Gettysburg History Podcasts Network. And it's out of Gettysburg, but it doesn't have to be about Gettysburg. So it's just out of Gettysburg. They have to be history podcasts, and it's a network. And they're either podcasts that are already in production that we would team up with, or they are podcasts that we produce, like That's What She Said. I tried to get Ken Rich and Cameron to agree to do a podcast about trains called Derailed, because if you've ever tried to have a conversation with either one of them, it gets derailed very easily. Putting the two together, it might never actually be about trains, which would be the funny part to me, but a lot of people would get upset about that. But anyway, we couldn't have the conversation enough without getting derailed to ever get to an answer as to whether or not they want to do it. So, yeah. Definitely love how your show goes hard. I read that one. Matt, you have to sell subscriptions on YouTube in order to keep going. Don't feel bad. This is your job, our entertainment. I heard you say that. Yeah, thank you, Kevin. Kevin, and you're right. Hey, everyone, give Matt a thumbs up. It helps. Thank you, Les. That's true. Matt, your show is really... Okay, I read that one. I agree, Les. A lot of YouTubers are one blade shy of a sharp edge, but Matt's a real sharp guy. Thank you, Kevin. That's kind of you. Good afternoon, Zach. Milepost says, agree with Peter Zach. Kevin says, yes, Peter, Matt is a YouTuber trendsetter. He's way ahead of any other I've heard. Wow. All right. Dustin, I love that. Repeating Winchester. Oh, God, that's good. See, now you've got me wondering. The plan was to just do addressing Winchester, then addressing Sharpsburg, but addressing and then the town name really only works with Gettysburg because of the Gettysburg address. There was no Sharpsburg address. There was no Winchester address, or at least nothing that was that is popularly remembered as such. So it doesn't work as a play on words with those other towns, but maybe repeating Winchester, maybe we just say it's an addressing Gettysburg show, but it's its own name. You've got me thinking now. And thank you for the parenthetical thought, but you didn't need to do that. I got it right away. Peter says, well, the shows would have to be of the same caliber. Oh, God, here we go. Matt is the Joe Rogan of Civil War stuff. I'm not going to argue with that one. Marge, you have a great podcast. You're the only one I listen to. Thank you very much, Marge. You guys are awesome. You're fantastic. But I must go and sit with another fantastic fella, an old friend of mine. Literally, longtime friend, old, but also old. He's in his 60s. Bob Steenstra. We're going to have lunch at our early dinner at our favorite place before his tour. And, yeah, that's the idea. So, I will talk to you guys next time. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for the great compliments. You really are fantastic. I'm a very lucky guy, and there's many reasons why I'm lucky, but you all, whether you're patrons or you're freeloaders, it doesn't matter, honestly. Even the freeloaders matter because I can monetize those numbers with advertisers. So you're all making my dreams come true, and I don't thank you enough, but when I do, I feel like there aren't words to express the amount of gratitude that I have towards you or for you. And that's it. So thank you very much, folks. I'm going to go eat a burrito and then feel guilty, and as I feel my belly jiggle as I take each step. Oh, God, and then I'm going to have to go for a walk for 2 hours after eating that salty food. Why did we come up with this idea? Sometimes we don't think it through. We think with our bellies, not with our brains, Bob and I. Tell Bob we all hope to hear him on the podcast again. I will, Ty. You have a good one too, Les. Jennifer, you're welcome. Thank you for enjoying it. I couldn't do it if you guys didn't listen, so thank you. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you later. Have a good one.